Hey everyone, in this Xbox How to Use Night Mode video, that's exactly what I'm going to show you. Night Mode is a special system mode which limits the light and colours on your display automatically, so any game you play will also be affected by it. So let's have a little look at it and see how it works. The first thing you need to do is go over to Settings. So if you look just above my head, this little cog, move your left stick over to there and press A. When you're inside here, move your left stick down to Accessibility and then move the left stick to the right and go down to Night Mode. Press A again and you're in the Accessibility Night Mode. I'm just going to move my camera to the bottom right so we can talk about this. So you see what it says, Night Mode reduces light from the console so it's easier to sleep after gaming. Turn it on and off manually, set it to local sunrise and sunset or set your own schedule. The light and colours for screenshots and game clips are unaffected by night mode. So what that means is if you are playing in night mode and you need to record something, you use the screen share button. That's going to look cool when you come out of night mode. So, you know, look at it the following day, it's going to have all the right colours. It's not going to have the weird tinge that you're going to see in a minute. What weird tinge? This looks all fine. That's because it's set to off, my friends. Let's turn it on. So if we press the A button and then move down to on, check it out. It looks like an 80s sci-fi movie when we're looking at all the cool computers. Then what happens is the preferences we can access. We've got display, HDR, theme, controller brightness, power button brightness. Let's walk you through these. So if we jump into display and press A, you've got two controls here. You have dim and filter blue light. So if I turn both of these off, you'll see the difference, all right? So if I turn dim to none, you can see we've still got this weird kind of yellowy orangey tinge, and this is the filter blue light system. So let's turn that off as well, and we'll talk about what is going on here. So the first one is general dimness. So this, if you put it onto max, is going to make things very, very dim. Okay, so you can see that we have this nice range of colors, which is why I moved my camera down so you can see how that's going to affect things. So you probably don't want it quite that dim. So let's set it to 50% for the minute. And then let's have a little look at the filter blue light. So if I turn the dimness, actually, let's turn that back up to full and now look at the filter blue light. So this is the one that's getting rid of the blues. Notice above me where we had the blues, as I bang that up, the blues start disappearing. And that's apparently the one that really affects your sleep before you go to bed is blue light. So it's suggesting that you filter most of that out. Now the downside of having this up full, like you can see here, is now we're really struggling to see the game at all. You know, like there, I can't even read anything. So this is why, you know, you put it to whatever you feel comfortable with. So if you want to go back to the defaults, if you just hit B to come back out, it saved those. It tells me what I've set them at, 50% dimness, 69% filter. But I can reset it using this. So I'll go A here, say reset, and there we go, we're back to normal. So I'll just turn it back on again. So it's suggested 40 and 80. Now let's have a little look at the next thing, HDR. So HDR is basically a way of using light or giving a better light representation in your games, and a HDR compatible TV will give you nice levels of brightness throughout the game. But if you're limiting the amount of brightness in a game with this night mode, it's going to struggle with it. So by default, it blocks HDR mode, and it's probably recommended just so you can still see the games reasonably well. So I suggest you leave that as blocked, but you can allow it and override it if you want. But I think it will be difficult in most games to see what's going on. You can also change the theme here. You have access to your themes, Xbox green color, the system theme, whether you want to have dark, light or scheduled. That's entirely up to you. So you can have different color schemes depending on whether it's day or night. So that's entirely up to you. Nothing too exciting there. These are quite nice though. So I've often found playing late at night that the brightness of my Xbox controller logo can be quite distracting. So what's quite cool is you have this option here to customize brightness, and if you have that ticked, you can have a default brightness, which would be what you have in the day, and then a night mode brightness, which is much dimmer if you want, or you can have it as bright or as dark as you want. Interesting as well is you can turn it off entirely, which should probably make you think that your controller is bust, so you may want to have it on slightly dim like this, but I think that's pretty cool that you can vary between the day and the night. So if you're happy with those, you just back out. So you can see I've left it what it suggested with 20% brightness. Again, if I hit the reset, it would sort that out. The last one we've got on here is the power button brightness. So this is on the actual Xbox itself. So I have the Series X. So this has got a whacking big logo on the top left of the Xbox Series S if you've got it standing vertically, or top right if you've got it standing horizontally. So again, we have the default brightness, and it's suggesting 50% brightness when you're playing at night. But if you want, you can turn that off entirely. It's a little bit of a shame that it's only got off, medium, and sort of full on. I'd have preferred a mode in between, but I suppose that's okay. It's nice to have that slight dimness. You probably, again, don't want it off, otherwise you're going to think your console's not working. So if we back out of there, so we've gone through those settings. The last thing that we've got to have a little look at is scheduled. And scheduled is quite a nice system where rather than having to put it manually on when it's nighttime, you can use the scheduled system to do it automatically for you. So if we have a little look at this, so I've pressed A on scheduled, and then we've got switch at sunrise and sunset, or night mode starts and ends. So if I leave this off, this is going to start at 8 PM automatically and end at 8 AM automatically. So even if my console's off, if I turn it on at any point between these two times, it's going to be in the night mode settings that I've already set. This one is quite a nice one. So this is an automatic switch that varies it throughout the year based on when sunrise and sunset is. So if I press A here, it will look at the weather system and decide when that is. So at the end of June, where I'm at now, apparently night mode or sunset is at 9:25 PM and sunrise is at 4:47 AM. And that's going to change throughout the year as we go through the seasons. So I think that's a pretty nice little mode there. So that's it in a nutshell. If you're happy with the settings that you've set up, so I've got it set to the default ones here, like you can see. I can go into here and leave that as it is, and if I back out, it will automatically go on those. Now what I want to do is just show you in a previous screen that night mode does indeed kick in if I put it on. So even though it's the middle of the day when I'm recording this, you can see how everything is affected. So if I back out of here and back out of here, back to my menu here, and you can see things do seem quite a bit darker, so I may want to increase that dimness. But if I was playing at night, maybe this would be fine. It's probably because there's so much ambient light around me when I'm looking at this. Plus there's a light shining in my face. But there you go, my friends. That's how night mode works. I hope that was useful to you. I'll put my camera back up a little bit. If it was, give us a thumbs up, please. That's much appreciated. Any comments welcome. And let me know if you're going to be using night mode or not, or whether you already use it. Did you already know it was there? But hopefully this clears up everything for you. If you want any more help with your Xbox, do let me know in a comment with what. I'll also put up a tutorial list at the end of here with help on it, the Xbox, and also cover many games on my channel. So have a little look round, and if you like what you see, hit that subscribe. Thanks so much.